Okay. Double checking I've got everything set up. Chaos bag is dealt with. Bag is done. Upgrades are laid out. The map is out. I've got all my stuff separated here. I've got everything recorded in here. I've spent my 4 on Rita and 1 remaining on Daisy. Translated the glyphs. Okay. Welcome back. We're starting part 2 of the Summa Cum Laude challenge. Daisy and Rita are trying to complete the Dunwich Legacy campaign with 15 Miskatonic characters, which is allies and investigators between the two decks. So, for deck upgrades, before we get into extracurricular activity, Daisy's dropping one of our archaic glyphs for a Markings of Isis archaic glyph. I figure with like upwards of 10 allies, I'll probably have more. I probably want this version to be able to just get more play actions out. So we'll go ahead and shovel that in. And then for Rita, I got 4 XP. I may as well pick up my 2 copies of upgraded Peter Sylvester. So that's super simple stuff. We're starting here at the Miskatonic Quad, right? You know how it is. We're going to find Dr. Rice. We do not have a lot of time. We have 7 turns. We need 6 clues. And let's do our opening hands. Daisy gets Jeremiah, art student, deduction, crack the case, and a research librarian. That's not bad at all. And let's see what Rita gets before we make any decisions too quickly. Yikes. That is a goofy hand. Talisman of Protection. Well, I don't think we want that right off the bat. We do not need to sneak by right off the bat. Take Heart's nice. I think we'll get rid of the other sneak by as a result of that, and we'll keep the manual dexterity. You know what? We don't need a manual dexterity. Let's just try and get some of our other stuff that's more useful. Sweeping kick is the kind of thing I'm looking for. That's good. No assets, so I guess we'll have to go and fail a test somewhere with the Take Heart. So that's her mulligan. Let's do Daisy's next. Jeremiah is going to be really nice for that static boost. Art student can pick up a clue off of this, which takes extra actions to investigate, so that's nice too. But if I'm taking an extra action to investigate, do I just commit a deduction to it? I don't know. I have to think about that. But ultimately, the big thing is that the research librarian is picking me up a tome quickly. So I think we're going to mulligan Jeremiah because he's not going to get played early. We're going to play the research librarian, drop the art student on the next location over, and then try and pick it up with just an investigate with a crack the case to get the last one. So we'll do just the Jeremiah, and we get a burning the midnight oil for a little bit more money, so that's fine. Okay, so I think we're all set to get going. Yeah, 7, 3. Whew. Okay, let's do this. Daisy's going to play a research librarian. We're going to search for... I guess my question is, do I want an encyclopedia or do I want an old book of lore? I think I want the encyclopedia to make sure that some tests are passing. Because we've kind of actually got pretty good hands right now. We'll get the old book later. We'll scoot over to the Orne Library. Second action. 3 and 1 per investigator. And then we'll boop boop to put that art student into play, gathering one of the clues off of that. And this is just when you investigate, so we're all good there. Okay, great. That'll be Daisy's first turn. We don't have a tome yet, so that's not used. Rita, I think I'm going to go ahead and fail and investigate here. What's the token do again? If you fail, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. You know, if that happens, it's not that big of a deal. We're testing 2 against 3, which, I mean, could pass, but auto-fail. Cool, get one of those out of the way. So 2 cards, another Take Heart, and a Cheap Shot, and 2 resources. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We'll take a draw, an old keyring, and then we'll head over with Daisy, because I think she kind of needs to be on her right now to be dealing with enemies. Okay, that's the first round. Upkeep on Daisy, a lab assistant. That's not coming into play anytime soon. Well, it might, but I think I need to get this Encyclopedia into play first. So it's probably going to be drop Encyclopedia, give myself +2, and do an investigate, play crack the case to give herself some money. Something like that on her next turn. And then Rita, another cheap shot. Okay, so we're like super set up for dealing with enemies on Rita right now. I'm actually really happy with how that's gone. Shuffle the encounter deck. We get 1 Doom, and let's see what we get for Daisy. Visions of the Future's Past. Test 5. For each point you fail by, discard the top card of your deck. Well, we have no icons here, and we have no good icons here, but we can give her a Take Heart to give her +2 cards and +2 resources. So let's test that. 3 against 5. We have to fail by 4. Let's get the 2 draws first. Okay, and then 4 cards. Ooh, the tote bag. That's a bummer. But that's okay. An arcane barrier attached to your location. As an additional cost, to move into or out of the attached location, test 4. If successful, discard it. Otherwise, you must either cancel the effects of your move or discard the top 5 cards of your deck. Okay, that's a bit of a bummer. But it's better than if it were here, because then we would get a lot of cards discarded off of that. So an alternative to doing this stuff that I was going to say was to do like a calling in favors on the art student, put someone else into play, and then like play over the art student. But I think that I'm probably better off doing what my original plan was. And so let's go ahead with Daisy. We're going to drop that Encyclopedia into play. We're going to give her 2 intellect. And then she's going to investigate it. 7 against 3, I believe. 7 against 3. -1, and if you fail, it's if you fail, right? Yeah, if you fail, discard the top 3. So we get that clue. And then we'll play Crack the Case to give ourselves 1, 2, 3 resources. So we've got that first location pretty good. Rita, I think I'm going to get her to go ahead and play this easy mark. 2 resources and a card. We're going to go ahead and play 1, 2, 3, the track shoes. And we're even going to play the keyring now. Because we're going to need to get some clues a little bit faster, I think. And I'm going to be waiting for Daisy to go out first. I think she's going to put the encyclopedia onto herself and then try and get out that way. See if I can discard it. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's going to be a little dicey. Okay, no enemies in play. Upkeep, old book. Upkeep, sneak by. Ridiculous amount of money on Rita right now. 2 out of 7. Eager for death. Test 2. Increase this test for each damage on you. Okay. But it's just 2 horror, which I can use to kill off the art student or the research librarian. It's not a big deal. 3 against 2 is fine. I don't even have... I'm not going to put an old book of lore into this. -1, so I pass it anyways. Ooh, the Athean Observer. Okay. So we're going to want to kill him. The question is, how are we going to want to kill him? That's the question. Okay, so I can sweeping kick him, dealing 3 damage, and then I can just come evade him another time later. That's kind of what I'm thinking I'm going to do. But I'm still going to do Daisy first in case she wants to move out first. So we're going to use the encyclopedia to give herself +2 willpower. And then she's going to try to walk out. And when she tries to walk out, she has to test 4 willpower. And she can discard this if she's successful. What is that? That is, sorry, -1, -3 instead if there are 10 or more. There are 5. So it is a -1, so she succeeds, which discards the arcane barrier, thank goodness. And she gets to do that move to the humanities building. Okay. Now she's going to investigate once with a Burning the Midnight Oil, committing a deduction to it to be 6 against 3. Let's pop that perception to be a lot against 3. -1. So we'll get a card draw from perception, our baby archaic glyphs, and we'll get 2 clues from the location. we'll just toss out one more investigate. 5 against 3. I will have to discard a couple cards off the top of my deck. -1. So we get that last clue of the turn, and then at the end of your turn, if you are in the Humanities building, discard the top X cards of your deck, where X is the amount of horror on you. So 1, 2. Deny. Shit. Okay. I might need to prioritize playing this old book of lore so she can find her other deny existence. Rita, we're going to go ahead and play that sweeping kick. We are 1, 2, 3, plus 6 is 9 against 4. Boom. So that deals 2 damage and evades him, which deals him a 3rd damage from Rita's ability. He is going to be staying at the location. I guess my question is, do I want to just sit here and deal 1 more damage to him with an evade next turn? Or do I want to catch up with Daisy and come do that later? Just in case Daisy gets another enemy on her. And I think the answer is that I do want to catch up with Daisy. No, I have a cheap shot. The nice thing is that I'll have a cheap shot to be able to get someone off of Daisy later. So actually, we're going to take a draw action. Look what I found. Okay. And we're going to take another draw action. Peter. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so we do upkeep. Witten and Dr. Francis Morgan. We're at... I should have set that back up again, but that's fine. We're looking like that. 3 out of 7 Doom. Daisy. Offer of power. Okay. You must either draw 2 cards and place 2 Doom on the current agenda, or take 2 horror. Well, let's take 2 horror. Let's kill off the art student. And then Rita gets another arcane barrier. All right. So she's just gonna have to eat that, but that's fine. One thing that's really interesting is that she's gonna be able to go get a bunch of clues before Daisy's turn even starts, if she can succeed at this first evade, which I think she can. So let's just take the evade. We are 6 against 3, -3, so we succeed, dealing a damage, which defeats him, sends him, whoopsies, sorry, up to the hex zone. And then we will take a move where we have to test against this willpower test, which we're probably going to fail. 0, yes, we do fail that. So we have to discard 1, 2, 3, nice, 4, 5. Yeah, I'll take that. Where we move there, and then after we move, but before we engage anyone, we'll trigger track shoes, 6 against 3. That's successful. We do have 11 cards for Daisy, so I'm just going to move this now. And because we're going to have 11 cards for Rita soon enough. So we do get a move. I wonder, am I going to the student union or am I going to one of these ones? I'll go to the administration building, where it's 4. After it's put in, after this is revealed, we put aside the faculty offices, which is like this or something. At the end of your turn, if you're in the administration building, discard the top card of your deck. Right. Okay. But then we're going to investigate with the key ring. 2 against 2. Auto fail. 1, 2 to look what I found for both of those clues. And that failed anyways, so we're good there. We can spend our 6 now, which I think we do. So we'll go ahead and spend 6 to flip this. Shuffle the encounter discard pile and then set aside Jazz Mulligan into the encounter deck. Boom and boom. Spend a clue to discard the top 5 cards of the encounter deck. 10 if there's one player. When you discard Jazz for any reason, resolve this revelation. When you take control of him, advance. Okay, so that's Rita's turn, and then she discards the top card of her deck, a manual dexterity. Okay. Rita, sorry, not Rita, Daisy. She's going to pick up this last clue. I guess I'll just use the encyclopedia charge to get the skill boost. That's fine. 7 against 3 for that last clue. -1. So we definitely get that clue. We're going to move to the center, because we don't want to stand here discarding cards in case we get beyond the veil. And then we're going to spend a clue to discard the top 5 cards of the encounter deck and draw Jazz if he's one of them. 2, 3, 4, 5. No, but those are perfectly fine to have gotten rid of. Okay, so that's Daisy and Rita. Web. Talisman of Protection. Okay. Okay, fine. So they're both at 11 in their discard pile now, so they are at the -3 for the cultist token. Okay. 4 out of 7 Doom. Beyond the Veil. Yuck. And an Eager for Death. Again, this is 3 against 2. We're just taking that, unfortunately. 0. Fine. Rita gets... Choose one of the following card types. Each player must discard each card in his or her hand that is of the chosen type. Ooh, that's painful. I think I'm going to go ahead and say skills and just discard both of these and not hurt her too much. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So, we're going to go ahead with Rita. We're going to move once to the center. Trigger Track Shoes, 6 against 3. Succeed to head down into the Student Union, which is going to put, what is it? The dormitories down here. And then we're going to investigate once with an old keyring, 2 against 0. Okay, and then we'll investigate again with an old keyring, 2 against 0, and we get a clue from the location. Okay. Next, we're going to spend a clue with Daisy to discard the top 5 cards of the encounter deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, those Light of a Forgamons are nice to get rid of. And then we're going to scoot down with Rita. And we're going to... What are we going to do? Should I get some more soak? What if I got my discard pile? I don't have any items. Whoops. I don't have any items in here, do I? I do have my tote bag. Thinking if William is any good. How many allies do I have? 1, 2, 3 allies in here? So who's left? Like Milan? Yeah, I don't think that's a very good play. I think we do just grab this last clue. 5 against the value. Okay. We upkeep. Calling in favors, and look what I found. 5 out of 7, and encounter cards, a Thrall, location with the most clues. So these are all tied, so we'll shove her over here. And then you get the True Power, which is take 2 Horror or draw 2 cards and place 2 Doom, so I'll take 2 Horror. We'll get that Peter into play this turn, so as to not tempt fate any longer. And so maybe we'll go first with Rita. We'll do 1, 2, 3 for a Peter. And then we'll spend a clue to discard the top 5 cards of the encounter deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my god. And then we will just draw a card, I think. I think I need a resource more, don't I? Oh no, I've got the sneak by. Okay, manual dexterity. Okay, so Daisy is going to spend a clue to discard 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There he is. Put him into play at our location. Well, he's not controlled by one of us. He gains Parlay. Test 3. If successful, take control of him. So we will second action Encyclopedia ourselves. We'll try to parlay him. 7 against 3. Successful. So he goes into control right there. He's a 2/2 and he doesn't have an ally slot, so that's fine. When we take control of Jazz Mulligan, we advance. The Alchemy Labs location is not in play. Put it into play if you're at Agenda 1 or 2. Spawn the set-aside experiment in the Alchemy Labs. So we have to take the Alchemy Labs like this. Spawn the experiment at it. And if we've completed House Always Wins, we put the alchemical concoction there. Okay, and then find and complete an objective on another encounter card. Well, we're probably just going to go for the dormitories. I don't think we can really kill him. Manatee's building from Midnight Oil and 2 resources from Take Heart. Oh, really? I'm surprised I've missed the 2 resources from Take Heart. Well, I think I'm okay on resources anyways, but I'll double tap that for one of them. And we can move into the dormitories now. So I think that we just do. Can I kill this guy? I've never actually. I don't know that I've ever killed the experiment unless I've had a guardian. But like, how much? You can deal 7 with this. And then I'd need to do 6 more. But I've already used one of my sweeping kicks. And like, he just chunks you. He readies at the start of the enemy phase anyways. So like, he just does a ton of damage. I don't think that that's super doable. Especially without shortcuts in Daisy's deck. I don't think it's doable. So we'll just head down to the dormitories. And we just need to get a ton of clues here. Yeah. Which we can do. That's fine. So we do our upkeep. There's a deny. Perfect. Okay. There's the deny. That's what I like to see. 6 out of 7. I am absolutely rocketing through this. What am I going to discard? I'm going to discard skills again. That's a bit of a gimme. And then another 2 horror, so we'll put 2 on Peter. And we'll go with Rita first, I guess. Move. Only getting 2 VP. No, I guess it would be 3 VP with that one enemy I killed. And then we'll investigate once 2 against 1 for a clue. And then 2 against 1 again. -4. We'll play the Look What I Found for 2 clues. And then on Daisy, we'll just toss out 3 investigates. 5 against 1. Well, I mean, fuck it. 7 against 1 a bunch of times, right? Well, why not? That's 1 clue. That's 2 clues. That's 3 clues. Whoops. 1, 2, 3. I do have a lot of time. So here's the thing to consider, right? Is I have this VP. I have this VP. If I went and killed him, I'd get 2 more. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. My question to myself is Rita just going to fucking die when she draws like a Beyond the Veil on her last card kind of thing? Like, I have another sweeping kick. She could walk past him to get to the alchemical concoction. It's possible. No. I don't know. That's tough. I've never had this come up before where I'm like... I usually play House Always Wins than extracurricular activities. And I usually am like clearing the dormitories while the experiment is like standing right here. That's usually how the scenario goes for me. And so the fact that it's going like this is almost kind of scary. Because it gives me a false sense of security that I could go do it if I really wanted to. Is this on Elite? This does work to Elites, the damage from that. I don't even have a weapon on Rita, though. And, like, if more... if more enemies start popping out, then that strategy goes to shit so quick. And I have no way of dealing damage on Rita except for some mind over matters. Like, no way at all. And even then, like, a mind over matter doesn't hit this guy. I'll be 5 against 4. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, okay. We're just going to, spend our 6 clues and do our 2. I don't think that would be very reasonable. So, Professor Warren Rice was kidnapped, the students were rescued, and we gained 3 experience. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. And then we do the interlude. We were not unconscious, so we do number 2. When we arrive at Dr. Armitage's home in South Side, yada yada yada, we rescue Dr. Armitage, and one of us can add him to our deck. Now, neither of us particularly need him, but I would like him for the purpose of completing my whole needing 15 Miskatonic allies thing. So, whose deck does he go into and do the least amount of damage? I kind of feel like it's Daisy's. He's fine in Rita, but he's kind of not necessary in Rita. And Daisy has the room for him, so we'll put Armitage into Daisy's. Jazz and that. I don't know that I'm going to have time for the next scenario, especially if I have to do a cleanup and spend some XP. But that one went really well. I'm happy about it. I'm going to do... I'll just clean up while I'm talking. I'm going to do the next scenario likely sometime tonight. I'm only playing right now because one of my kids is having a nap, so I've got some time. But very happy with how that one went. The first 2 in this one have been very smooth so far. You know, House Always Wins was a little risky. There was definitely some stuff going on in it. Was there another VP enemy in here? Oh, there was. I wonder if I should have just waited around for him. I probably could have got him and not been running afoul of the experiment, of risking the experiment beating me. But House Always Wins was a little off. It was close to being a bad time. But it didn't ever actually go so bad that I was fucked. So that's kind of nice. We'll just do a bit of this setup, and then I'll be resuming this like later tonight. Probably like 8 or 9 hours from now. It's almost 1 o'clock right now. About 9 o'clock my local time is when I can play. Yeah, so pretty happy with both of those. I'll have to think a bit about some XP on these guys. I think Daisy's probably just going to pick up her other archaic glyphs. That'll be really good. She'll still have 1 XP left over. For Rita, what does she get with 3 XP? It's not a chainsaw. I was considering going chainsaw killer with her to make sure that I can do stuff. But I'll have to think about what I can do with 3 XP. I could get a couple of skills, like Unrelenting or something like that, to get a bit of extra card draw. But card draw is a little risky in this campaign. That's the one thing about it. It's quite tricky to pull off the card draw. She could always pick up like a fire extinguisher level 3. And one of the cool things about fire extinguisher level 3 is that it's like it's not as rough as the meat cleaver. But I can, if I ever really need to, just pop this and evade all of them and deal the damage to a guy. Or if I've pulled an Elder Sign, like if I take a couple swings ahead of time, I can just be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll just evade everyone. I'll discard this and evade everyone and deal them all the damage, right? Like something like that. Not sure, not 100% sure. The other idea is to pick up some crafties so that I can pay for my tricks. But at the same time, I'm absolutely swimming in money in this deck, so. Might be more like something like Alter Fate. Hard to say. Anyways, I'll think about it off stream. We'll be back tonight with the next one. Thank you very much for watching. See ya.